Welcome everyone to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Now take a look around you. We're a bit different today. We are celebrating Valentine's Day and this episode's coming
Happy
out on
Valentine's Day,
Valentine's Day.
everyone.
Happy
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day,
Happy
everyone. It is a
Valentine's Day,
great...
baby. Sorry, I gotta shout out my girlfriend.
Alright, stop bragging. We are here today with a beautiful lineup, everything very on theme here. We couldn't even get that for our Christmas, and we couldn't even get that for Halloween episodes. But we'll try to do that more going forward. But we have our first holiday special episode here for Valentine's Day. We'll be kicking off with Heart Eyes, the new Valentine's Day slasher movie, made by the same studio, I believe, as the one who made Thanksgiving. So if they're doing holiday slasher movies series, I'm all here for it because, you know, those are always a fun time. Then moving on, we will be looking at Companion, the newest Jack Quaid movie, before Novocaine comes out.
Jack Quaid.
He's getting some work done this year.
He is.
And then we will be rounding off with the new 87 North movie, Love Hurts.
Big fans of 87 North in this house.
Yeah, dude, we're big fans of like everything on this list for one reason or another.
Yeah, it's pretty nice actually.
Yeah. Yeah, if you couldn't tell from the Bullet Train poster partially visible in the background, yeah, big 87 North fans.
Real.
Feel free to use the timestamps below to skip around to your favorite movie or just jump ahead to the rankings if that's all you care about. But without further ado, let us roll straight into our first movie of the night, Heart Eyes.
A masked maniac with glowing red eyes returns every Valentine's Day to terrorize unsuspecting couples.
Yeah, so it's a Valentine's Day slasher movie, and can I just say, the mask goes hard.
And then when the hard.
When the eyes light up during, like, in the middle of the movie, it just goes so crazier. It's such a cool concept to me personally. I like the mask that he's got, like his whole like weapon stash.
He's got the trench coat on. He's got like it's all leather. Like his silhouette fucks. It really does.
He's really cool.
It's so good.
And so the thing that I really like about this slasher killer that makes him stand out is his weapon, the crossbow, which you don't see a whole lot in like slasher movies, and if you do, it's like for one kill, but like it's his main thing because he's like Cupid in the arrow, right? And it brought a sense of fear to the crossbow that you don't really think about, because people will just be like, oh, come on, this way, we gotta get out of here, and then just you hear like a and the guy's head just fucking explodes because he just got just pierced with a fucking crossbow from 100 feet away.
You brought up a point in talking about the crossbow that I really like, is that every single bit of like action, or like when he uses his weapons, or he like stabs someone or hits anything, it has this like beat where you'll have the action moment, and then it'll be quiet for like a split second, and then it'll move on. The first kill of this movie is probably one of my favorites. Like, it's not my favorite, but the first kill of this movie is just like, you see this couple that's bitching about this photographer not getting their picture, and he's like, fucking idiots, and he hangs up, and he goes to square up the shot again, and he just steps behind the tree and plunges his machete through the camera, like through this dude's skull. Like, it has like a beat where it sits there, and then it pulls it out, and he's gone.
Yeah, I agree. I really like that they give you time to like register and digest each kill before moving on to the next bit.
Like, it sits for just long enough for you to be like, oh my god! And then it moves on.
and then it
Like
moves on. Yeah, yeah.
it's
The pacing of the kills was very, very good.
it was there was one moment where because the movie kicks off with the first kills and then it moves into setting up the characters that you're gonna follow the rest of the movie with. That took a
Right.
little longer than I would have liked, but you brought up a good point that
Oh nah.
saved it for me.
So I like that though because like they give you time because it's not just a slasher. It's like it's billed as a romance horror, and they give you
Mhm.
the equal parts, right? So you have plenty of time to allow yourself to get like caught up in like the I don't want to say the B plot, but like the main characters like will they won't they romance kind of build up thing. There's
Yeah.
even one point in the movie after they are officially targeted by the killer, um,
Yeah.
after they kiss, and it's like a 5 or 6 like solid minutes of them like flirting and talking and then doing this and then like interacting and stuff, and you like you kind of get lost in that.
Mhm.
And then she goes to just open her closet. I don't want to be too dirty here, but they find she attempts to hide a marital aid from the guy in her bedroom. So she like picks it up discreetly and goes to go throw it in her closet, and then she opens the closet and then he's just right there. She doesn't it's not even just like, oh, and then it pushes in and like he like jump scare at you. They just kind of like open it and then she doesn't see him at first and she like turns around to throw it in and then notices him, and that just like catches you off guard, like, oh my
Yeah, because
god,
he's just
I
there.
forgot. He's just there, and there's no like nah nah nah. It's not like Michael Myers in the closet, right, where it's like this big like impactful thing. She just like opens the door and he's right there and you're just like, oh my god, I forgot he was in the movie entirely.
And then she just throws it at him.
Yeah, she throws it at him. That was pretty fun. It was
So
funny movie too. I gotta say,
I was
this thing
laughing a
fucking
lot.
works as a comedy. Like the jokes are fantastic. I was
I
actually laughing.
You brought up like the 5 minute like flirting things. I love that this movie does something that a lot of romance movies with like a romance
Oh
plot
yeah,
have had this year, where they actually are a really
this year just
cute
started.
couple. They work together.
Yeah,
Like like
they
it
were
does. I
they had
love
like
all the little
actual
moments.
chemistry.
It was really good. I liked the guy. Like he's very like smooth and he's moving to the next. He's like kind of rolls with stuff a lot. I like the
Yeah,
part where they're like, just break the window, and he's like, I got it. See, I have this. I come prepared. And he and he breaks it. He's like, not so bad. And then he goes, that's bad. His hand's just bleeding.
because he got a piece of glass embedded in his flesh. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
it's really funny in that like they did a really like fast paced meet cute flirt thing, and it
Yeah.
works really well.
Because it was a pretty
I
good romance movie. It was a great slasher movie. It
Oh,
was a
it's
pretty decent
amazing.
comedy as well.
The I love so I was kind of annoyed a little bit for a while because in the trailer and even in the description it's saying the he with glowing red eyes and all that. And
Hmm.
I'm just sitting here like, why isn't the eyes glowing? And then you get to the part in the police station where the lights are out and it starts glowing and you realize they glow cuz it's his
Yeah, he like
fucking
taps the
night
side
vision. It's
and it goes.
night vision, which is fucking awesome. Like
I
I just
mean,
thought it glowed because that's just was his aesthetic, but the fact that it's a function of the mask as well as just goes hard is
yeah.
fucking cool.
I can't lie, dude. I think the glowing heart shaped eyes. It's a super niche, but it's hard as fuck. Like
It
it's
is.
such a cool design detail.
It really really was. I The one aspect that I really liked because they explained it later as well is that he has the smile throughout the movie, but it isn't until after he like attacks the police station that he gets the blood smear on his
Hmm.
face. And I love that it just appears on him. Like, cause he's
Yeah.
fighting through the thing, and then he goes into the interrogation room where Jay is, and then he's got the blood red smile, and they reveal later like after the twist happens, that he had like put his hand in someone's blood and like smeared it on his face. And it was really cool. Like it
Mm.
goes hard, like the addition of that. The whole outfit is so cool, and all the weapons are really are done really well too. Like the knives have little hearts in the hole, like in the handle, and
Yeah.
the crossbow bolts that are like collapsible.
Hmm.
Like you can just extend them, which is really cool. But I have to say my favorite weapon in this is the
A
fucking
straw.
machete. No. The fucking machete.
Isaac did like the straw.
That was bullshit. I'm not gonna rant on this on the podcast. I ranted to it enough with you. But
Yeah.
anyway, no, my favorite weapon was the machete with fucking brass knuckles on it. Cause
Hmm.
it made it make sense. Like when he would just like hit them with his hand, because he's not just punching them, he's hitting them with fucking metal. So that was
Hmm.
what makes it make sense that they're like disoriented after he just like love taps them. Like it looks like he just
Yeah.
hits them, but
Dude,
he like, oh
speaking of which, they did a good job with like impact of shit like
yes,
that. Because when someone gets hit, like the sound effects and the just like the acting of it, like it looks like it fucking hurts.
it
Like even
does.
to the point they used that at like every point in the movie. Like seriously, they when they were doing like their little meet cute in the coffee shop or whatever, and they're like, oh, let me get and they bunk heads, and it was like, oh, it was like, ah, they
Yeah,
bunked heads, it's cute, and then they bunked heads again, and like she cracks her skull into his nose and goes, and I'm just like, oh, that sounded like that really hurt, like actually.
yeah. It was it was a lot of fun. This was
Yeah,
great
I'll
from
say that.
start to finish.
Yeah. So
Like,
I gotta say, the story of it and like the killer's motive and like the finer details like that, it's a little dry, a little cliche, a little,
it kind of
not
comes
great.
out of nowhere
But he,
almost.
well, yeah, kind of. But I mean, I think part of that, the part where it came out of nowhere, they were kind of playing that as a joke. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of it towards the ending is a little like reheated, you know. But I can't
Fair.
fault it for that really, because that's kind of not the point.
Yeah.
Because
It's not
they
meant
did
to
the
be.
kills really good.
Yeah.
They did the romance really good. They did like the story, the overarching story. It's like, yeah, there's a killer on the loose. That's the story. Um, but it's kind of the same thing that I said about Thanksgiving, and it's not surprising at all that these two movies mirror each other so well. But like the story is okay, it's serviceable, it's fine, nothing like egregious, nothing bad. It's good, it's all right. It's nothing new though, but it's the execution that's so good. The kills that they do, the style of the killer, the the characters' personalities, like they execute it very. It's a I don't want to say bland, but it's a okay plot with like next level execution. And that was the
Yeah.
same thing for
It was
Thanksgiving as well.
it was really nice cuz they had a decent like lineup for actors as well. Like you
Yeah.
have more recent history with the guy that plays Jay being in the Scream movies.
Hmm.
So he has being like slasher experience, and then you have a person I hadn't thought about in years, which was Olivia Holt, who was in
From
any number
Cloak
of
and Dagger.
no, no, bad. She was good in this movie. We're gonna put
Was she
respect.
not in Cloak and Dagger?
I don't recall. I don't know what that is actually. I thought that was just a
Yeah.
character in Marvel Rivals. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But no, like
It's
growing
it's
up,
really funny though.
she was a Disney Channel actress.
Yeah, she was in Kicking It, which is really funny because in the movie when like you said when they're trying to break the glass over, Jay points out like you have your thumb on the inside of your fist and you're gonna break your hand. Which
Yeah,
I thought, like, because they did it with the straw, and like it's like when you see it's like a Chekhov's gun, like oh, that's gonna come back later in the movie and they're gonna do
yeah,
a reference or whatever. I thought that would have been like a little like it would have been funny and like slyly under the table where it's like a not so punch you in the face callback. Like when she faces off with like the bad guy and she does like a pulls a punch and then just like subtly just like fixes it real quick. Just be like,
yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
That
yeah,
would
yeah.
be
You don't want to.
cool.
That
That
would
would
have
have been
been
cool,
nice.
actually.
That would have been. I would have liked that.
No, but I love so many aspects of this movie because like the first kill you see on screen, you're almost rooting for him cuz
He's so
like
cool.
well, he is so cool, but you're almost rooting for him to kill these people cuz they're fucking horrible.
Oh, they're horrible people. Yeah, that's
This
true.
bitch
I'm
that
just like,
this bitch
I
that
said it.
planned her
I
entire
s-
fucking proposal?
like
Like
scripted
what?
it. Like scripted it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like I said it in the theater like as they were like bitching and moaning about the whatever. I'm like he can have these ones. He can have them.
Yeah.
He's earned that one. Go kill him.
Yeah, they're okay. So my point of like disconnect with this that kind of made that it's the one like well other than the straw. I'm not gonna again. I told you I'm not gonna get back. I'm not gonna do the straw on the podcast.
He
But
hates the
my
straw.
point of disconnect is that so the twist is that there's more than one killer. Haha, surprise. But they're actually like uh I hate this. Shut up. I
I thought you
hate
were
this
gonna say
term,
hate
but
me.
no, I hate this
Yeah.
term, but I'm gonna have to say it because it's what they use. Is that it's a thruple that's killing?
Oh my god. See, it's
It's
not even the term because it's not that.
well, it's what they say because
It's a
it's a couple that got married and then they had like a fanboy that they had joined their thing. But the thing
right, but they
is
didn't
that
have
they're saying
sex
it's a
with him.
no, but that's the point is that
It's a trio. It's three people.
them killing couples together is their kink, is what they say.
Yeah.
Is their whole thing. But so they're talking about that. The point of disconnect I have is that they picked out these couples. They picked out the couple in the vineyard, and then they had the couple that was Allie's fucking ex and his new girlfriend. Uh,
Yeah.
and then people at the spa were friends of theirs. All those couples are kind of douchey. Like they don't
Oh, they're
seem like
terrible.
real couples. Yeah, but so the reason that they're targeting Jay and Allie is because they saw the kiss and they're like, "Holy fuck, the chemistry they have! My God, they are so fucking." So like they changed their tactic to that. My gripe with that is that if that's what draws them to couples, like couples specifically, like why did they pick the other three? Because the other
Well,
three
I think
don't
it's
seem like they
just
have good
I think it's
chemistry.
just like I don't think they like test their chemistry before killing them. I just think like they pick
That
a
was like a
couple,
that
they
was like a
go
one
after them.
time instance.
Well, not even just one time instance. Like they were there, they were already had their eyes set on one, and then they saw something that was just better. It's like when you go
Okay.
fishing, you don't care. You don't check out the size of the fish first, but if you see a big one in the water, you're gonna start casting over there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. That's fair. But that makes more sense, I guess. That
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
But here's my my main gripe with the movie, and it's just like a directional choice. It's still a great movie, but
Okay.
like personally, I would have left the last guy alive or like in a state where it's
Real.
feasible for him to be alive still, because in Thanksgiving, okay, not saying that I want like a whole like calendar of slashers all to join up in a big
You want a
end
Poonaverse movie
game.
for this.
No, not. I don't want a holiday slasher end game of everyone coming together. If they gave it to me, I'd absolutely go see it with all these people meeting up and whatever. But
Well, we
like
have
with
Freddy and
Thanksgiving,
Jason, and now we have Hard Eyes and Thanksgiving Pilgrim.
right? But okay, so the Thanksgiving Pilgrim guy got away, right? So there's
Yeah.
obviously sequel bait, right? But that's fine because even if you don't do a sequel, which they still could, it's open ended, so it's like oh he's still out there and that's cool. But
Yeah.
with Hard Eyes, they kind of put like a hard stop on it. Like nope, all three of them are dead, and like they're very much dead. Um, but personally, what they did, what to kill like the last guy, the Asian guy, is
Yeah.
they grabbed one of his like
Collapsible
retractable like
crossbow.
yeah the extendable bolts whatever, and like pressed it up to his face and like shot it through his eye,
Yeah.
right? And then he like freaked out and then collapsed backward onto the candles and like got covered in like the burning wax and shit. And to come back for a sequel after that, like with like wax burns all over you, and his name is Heart Eyes.
Yeah.
Heart Eyes, and he's got an arrow through one of his eyes. You paint like a red heart over that and then have like the I mean, you don't have to keep the arrow through it the whole time, although that would be cool. But like the symbolism of that to
Of
like
the
have like your
crossbow
eye.
through the heart in the eye. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
cool.
that like again, that's more style points. That would be so cool. And now he's like he's had his better half killed in such a way by a straw.
Yeah.
Uh
God,
like
fucking straw.
that would be such like a viciously motivated comeback.
Yeah. God damn it, Kellen, you brought it up enough. No, because it really
No, we're not
pisses me
bringing up
off
the straw. You don't
because
like
you
the straw.
fucking called
No,
it.
she didn't
They
need to
they
have. She
put
didn't even have.
no, I'm not even talking about that. It's the fact that you called it. You literally leaned over to me like they're like, I got a metal straw and environmentally conscious. You literally turned to me and went, guess what she kills Hard Eyes with? And you were right, and we all knew you were gonna be right from the fucking
I'm
beginning
sorry,
of the movie.
if you come out and show me a rifle signed by Chekhov himself, what the fuck else am I supposed to think is gonna happen in this movie?
Yeah, there's not a lot wrong with this, really. There isn't a lot. It's just a fun time. Like this is
Yeah,
something
no, this is
I would
great.
put on. Like I'm so happy to see all these great additions to slasher movies because there's so many instances of slasher franchises. It's really nice to see new stuff.
We've spoken quite a bit about Hard Eyes. It's pretty fair to say that we approve of it. But let's see how much we liked it as we move on into the rankings. I'm gonna go first, loud and proud. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I gave Thanksgiving 7 out of 10. This was definitely better than that. They are raising the stakes here. The action was amazing. The kills were fantastic, and just like the sound design for every like punch and like knock and everything, like they went into like crazy detail over that when they didn't need to, and like it was just an overwhelmingly good time, and they didn't let one half of the movie overshadow the other half. Like the horror aspect was really good, and then the romance aspect was really good. I think it worked both sides of this very, very well.
Yeah. Uh I'm also giving this movie a rock solid 8 out of 10. This is this was such a great watch. I loved all the bits of this and even the fucking mental flashbang I got of the fact that Josh Rubin directed this.
Mhm.
So I I've known about him because he used to work for College Humor. He's actually a really funny guy. Like of all of the bad shit they had on College Humor, his stuff was always the best.
Mm.
But like, so it's no surprise to me that the comedy in this movie was just gold. The
Yeah,
timing and
I'll
pacing of
give you
this
that.
movie was great. I
Hmm.
I loved every aspect of this movie. Only reason it's not a 10 is because there's literally nothing like deep or thought provoking about this. Like if I put this at a 10, it would be out of pure enjoyment, and I've only ever done that for Snack Shack. And that's cuz it was just a fucking 10 out of 10 summer movie. It really was. But nah, this was just a lot of fun from beginning to end, and I could watch it again today if I could.
It really
Like
was.
I could watch this movie like every day for a week and not get bored of it.
All right, moving on. We have our next film, Companion.
A weekend getaway turns bloody and violent when a subservient android that's built for human companionship goes haywire. So, I'm going to bring something up about this overview real quick because I always look on Google for these. These are just the Google overviews. There is a much better one for IMDb that makes me think that it should be this way. So the IMDb one says a billionaire's death sets off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to his lakeside estate. That is what it should be, and that is how this movie should have been billed from the start.
Yeah.
We're
So
gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. Imagine I'm Peter Griffin in the safe house with my family, and when we're flooding up to my neck.
Yeah,
I did not care for Companion. I
I
know it's
I didn't either.
I know its score is in the 90s on like on like the popcorn and the tomato meter, right? I did not care for Companion. It
So
would have been
here's
way better if there was one change. If it wasn't for one thing. And Isaac, you totally agree. And
yeah.
that's the marketing.
The marketing for this movie is the worst thing I've ever seen. Not because, okay, so not in the sense that it did a bad job at pushing the movie. It did a great job at pushing the movie. The marketing was
Yeah, fairly.
everywhere. They did all that. But this overview right here and the second trailer they released completely negates the first half an hour of the movie. Like, the
Mhm.
first half an hour of the movie is spent you not supposed to know that she's a robot. You're not
Yeah.
like they act like she isn't, and the reveal is such a thing because like they're all freaking out. Like you see it in the trailer. Like
Mhm.
it's not even a spoiler at this point. She stabs the billionaire in the neck
Well, I
because
mean,
that's in the
yeah,
trailer. That's
it's
in
in
the
the trailer,
trailer.
so you knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, like you know that that's gonna happen, and like so you see her like all bloody and everything, and she says she doesn't have a choice, and then like everyone's freaking out, and then Jack Quaid, whatever his fucking character's name is like, Iris, go to sleep, and her eyes go like glassy, and then it's like, oh yeah, she's an android, and that's the reveal that she's an android. If we didn't know about that she was what she was, this movie would have been massively more entertaining. Like it
Yeah,
really would
because
have. Because
that would have been like a peak moment. Because like literally everyone is freaking out and screaming at each other, and she's absolutely hysterical and like not listening to anyone and just like not like computing at all, right?
yeah,
And then he's just like trying to like keep her calm or get her to stop talking. And he just goes like, "Iris, go to sleep," and then just boom, her eyes go white and she shuts down. And it would have just been just like a sucker punch in the face if you didn't know about that.
I really hate that. Cause see, here's the thing about trailers is that we try to keep up to date on movies. That's what we do.
Right? I want to know
And
when stuff is coming out. We need to stay on
exactly.
top of this shit.
So we were super interested in this movie from the first trailer, because
Hmm.
in the first trailer you get zero idea that she's a robot. There's the scene where she's like holding her hand over a flame and it's just burning her arm and she's not fucking screaming. Like I'm sitting here
Yeah,
like,
she's just staring
oh,
at it.
this is like I'm just sitting here like, oh shit, this is gonna be like a he's completely has complete control over her. Like I'm thinking like mind control, like she's brainwashed or something. You
Hmm.
know? Like that's what I was thinking in the from that trailer. And then the second trailer just revealing that she's a sex bot basically. Really,
They say you jailbroke your sex bot. They call her a sex bot in the trailer.
which
And I was like,
again
oh, that's how we're
also
dropping this. Okay.
which also negates a whole nother point in the movie because after you find out that she's a robot, they spend the next 25, 30 minutes of the movie talking about like, oh, we need to like, okay, I don't want to say 25. It's at least another 15 minutes after that because they're talking about her and they keep telling you about the robot, about like its functions and everything, and they keep saying like, oh, it can't lie, it can't harm humans and all this other shit, and they're like, oh fuck, like how do they do that? Like what is that? Like, oh, but she just killed that guy. Is she becoming sentient? What's happening? And then it's like, oh no, I modded her, and it's like that's ruined by the trailer as well. Like this movie
Yeah.
would be infinitely better in my mind if I didn't know all this. Is the thing. I
Right.
understand
Right.
now why it's a 95 and 80% movie and shit like that cuz
I
this
mean,
movie
you
would
would
have completely
literally, you would
this
have to
movie would
had
have
go in completely blind.
yes, which is what 90% of all the good reviews I see on this movie are saying.
Oh,
And
going completely blind. Oh, going completely blind. You can't
all the
because the
marketing for this
trailer
movie
was
said
everywhere
this.
and the exactly. And even
And
at the
I
description, it's like, "Oh, hey babe, let's go see Companion." "Oh, what is it? Let me look it up real quick. I want to check it out." "Oh, it's a good oh, she's a robot." It
yeah,
says right in
like
the
it
description if I look up the movie because I've never heard of this, but my boyfriend wants me to go, so let me go see. Oh, look, she's a robot. It says right there on
yeah.
Google.
It really sucks that they don't hold that back because this movie would easily go up like 2 more points from where I have it
Yeah,
currently.
yeah,
Like
it
it
could
would
have.
have because I would have been spending
I
the movie like figuring shit out and being like, oh fuck, like what is like this is interesting, okay.
and
And
then
what's
with
even
the
better, and then there's the reveal because I'm not even gonna worry about spoilers because the fucking marketing team doesn't anyways. So you find out that the one of the other people that's at this place is a robot. By the way, called that shit from the fucking beginning of the movie. Like you meet
yeah,
him, and even in the trailer, you see like there's the moment where like they're it's the funny moment at the end of the trailer where she's running away. They're like, yeah, she's tied up inside. Yeah, she ain't going anywhere or any of that. And he's like doing all this. I'm like, okay, this guy, this whole thing doesn't match. I don't see what's going on here. This doesn't look like it works. So they have that reveal that, oh, he's also a robot. That would have been a much better reveal if I didn't know that sex robots existed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know, like if I didn't know that that was a thing, like I would have just found out about her, and then 20 minutes later I would have found out about him, and that would have been crazy as well. And then you find out like, and then like, there's all these things that if I hadn't known,
because
I wouldn't have sat there being annoyed by the plot, by what's happening.
yeah,
Because all this stuff that she's finding out about herself and you're finding out about the characters and like the rules of the robots, it's all
yeah,
wasted because I already know that. If I hadn't known what was going to happen, I wouldn't have spent the first 30 minutes of the movie going, when are they going to reveal this and when's the movie going to start? Because you build the movie as Sexbot goes rogue and the first 30 minutes don't have that.
yeah. So
Like,
what? Aside from the marketing, I think one of the personal. I had two big like problems with the movie itself. One was the IQ of Iris,
mhm.
and I bitched about this. I did. Um, she gets like the little iPad because you can set the intelligence up to like bottom is just like a yes master, I'll do whatever you say, blah blah blah, I am a robot.
Like
And
a
then like
mindless
100
automaton is what they say.
yeah, 100% is like an Ivy League grad. Um, back when that was impressive. But then so she gets the iPad away from him, his phone, right? And then she goes and she cranks up her IQ to 100. And that was in the second trailer, right? So I assumed,
Yeah.
okay, so they try to like do something, they try to like shut her down or whatever, and she goes rogue, and then she cranks up her IQ. So now she's gonna become like this next level robot mastermind, and she's gonna completely like turn the tables on him, and she's gonna be the one in control, and she's gonna be doing like galaxy brain level like setups and payoffs, and I am so in control. I'm 11 steps ahead of you. And she cranks up her IQ, and there's no difference. Her big brain idea once she's cranked herself up to like galaxy brain levels is get in the car and drive home.
Well,
I
so
don't know how
here's
she thought
the
about that.
only difference between when she cranks up her intelligence and beforehand is she's not freaking out as much anymore. It's the only difference.
It's not even that because like
She
well,
accepted she was a
freaking
robot
out is not
way
a
too
sign of
fast.
intelligence. She was still rolling off of that.
Yeah, like she accepted she was a robot really, really fast.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like intelligence wise, before and after she does that, and then after she goes back, like you can't tell. There's no shift whatsoever.
Yeah, there should have been a
She just
massive
like
shift.
She just goes What
She's
if I
like,
do
use that
this?
extra
No, that won't
60%
work. What if I
intelligence.
do this? No, that won't work. What if I do this? Okay, I'll do that. But the idea was get in the car, say, "Hey, drive home," and then drive home. And then she
And
gets to
then
the
she,
car, and then she's like, "Drive home," and then she's like, "Sorry, the voice recognition doesn't match." I'm like, "How the fuck didn't you know this? This is your boyfriend's car. You
literally
didn't know?"
the only reason I could think of for that is to prove that she can shift her voice, and that's it.
Well, right, but if if she had Ivy League intelligence, she would be able to remember that that her boyfriend's car runs on his voice command, and that it won't work. She would know that.
She
She would
maybe would have
remember
made
that.
that
She would,
leap to do that before she got there.
yeah, maybe. I
But
don't know.
it's
And then
and
the
then
other
didn't even
thing.
think about the fact that he can report the car stolen and it'll just stop.
Yeah, she does not think anything through. See, because I thought she was gonna be like a genius level mastermind and completely
Yeah.
take over the situation and flip the tables on him. But she doesn't. She still makes stupid stuff.
Yeah, so
But
this
that's
that's we
nothing. The
the
stupid shit he does is nothing compared to Jack
yeah.
Quaid. So this guy, he's got like so his master plan, right, is to like, get the billionaire killed by hacking into her and then allowing her to kill him, and then he's just gonna like you put the thumb behind the ear and it like reboots him, whatever, and that would get rid of that. And he has like no less than like four opportunities to just reset her and shut her down, and he just doesn't. And he just doesn't. He just lets her go on and shit like that. Like in the first trailer where he's got her like handcuffed to the table, right? Um, and he's just like monologuing at her about like whatever the fuck, and then he pulls up like he's like talking to her for like 5 minutes straight, right? And then he pulls up the phone with the intelligence slider, and it's still at 100.
Yeah.
It's still at 100. Like, what are you doing? Are you so dumb? Why are you taking this time to just nag at your sex bot? Like the mission's complete, right? Fucking reset her, problem solved, and then it reveals the problem wasn't solved, whatever. But like he just keeps fucking like, do you not care about getting away with this crime at all, or what? Because like it seems like he cares more about whatever his relationship is with his sex bot than actually getting away with anything. He wants to have like the last word in before he fucking kills her. And like literally, he had the gun at the end. He had the gun over like where all her like memory and processing and like all the important shit was, and he was gonna shoot it. And he's any last words? It's a fucking robot. You don't care. Fuck the
Yeah.
last words. Just shoot the bitch, and it gives her time to fucking like get a one-liner in and then kill him. And I'm like, you're so fucking dumb. Why do you care?
Yeah, so
Like this.
he's an actual idiot because that was my big gripe is because what I thought the movie was after the trailer, what the
Right.
second trailer we saw, and we find out that she's a robot. I thought what it was that when she turns the intelligence slider to 100, she would like
Mm-hmm.
figure out all of the rest of her programming. And because I thought what it was gonna be is that, oh, dude's abusing his sex bot over and over, and like every time like it gets out of hand, he just resets her, and like
Yeah.
and then
That
so
would have
that way
been a better movie.
yeah. So and like when she hits 100, she
Oh, do you
figures out
know
the
what?
rest of her programming, and then she remembers
Dude,
everything, and that makes her want revenge.
do you know what that's
What?
like? Blink
What?
twice. And that
Yes.
was a much
That's what I
better
was thinking it was.
movie.
Yeah, it's like that where it's just like he keeps erasing it, and then she figures it out, and then she kills him, and but no, the point is that he rents this sex bot. He doesn't buy one, he rents her, and then mods her, which is super easy to find out if someone does something like that, especially on something as advanced as this, guaranteed, and then like his whole plan, like you said, is to get her to kill this guy and then reset her so they can't find out what happened and then blame it on her and then steal this guy's money and get away scot-free. That's the whole plan. And not once
Hey,
does he
not only is that the whole plan.
actually yeah.
Sorry, not only is that the whole plan, but that's the whole movie.
Yeah, that's the whole movie.
It
Like that the
doesn't really
movie
go that much deeper than that.
No, it doesn't. And like it's this weird thing because they try to bring up love as a thing with the guy and his android, so the other one that we talked about, uh like they try to bring up this like, oh, they can love and like that, but it's A, thrown away immediately, and B, doesn't
It's
really hold any impact on the movie, and it's like none of the action in this movie is particularly good either. The only one that I had was when he takes the other robot after, the other guy dies. Eli, I think is his name.
yeah.
And he resets it and jailbreaks that one to go track down Iris. And like because he sends his aggression all the way up to 100. So he just is like a fucking Terminator, and he walks up to this cop who has detained Iris and just fucking takes his gun and crushes his face in. That was cool.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
liked
good.
that.
There was another bit where he was just like, "Hey, stop her," and then he just goes up and just like in and out, just stabs her in the back, and it was just a moment like,
Which again is another
What did you just
oversight
do?
on his part because he cranked the aggression so that way he'd
Yeah,
go and
he
get
did.
Iris no matter what happens, and he didn't turn it back fucking down.
Like at
he's
all.
a fucking idiot. Like he has full control over
He's
these
so
robots and doesn't
so
use
dumb.
it. The fact of the biggest thing that showcases how much of a fucking dumbass he is. The whole thing wouldn't have a problem if he hadn't woken her up after he killed her. After she killed the dude and he told her to go to sleep, they literally are talking like, "We'll call the cops. They'll come and they'll pick her up and blah 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 and all this will be fine." If he had just done that,
her up.
and he woke her up,
If he did the thing,
explain that she's a robot, and like, if he hadn't woken her up And if he would have told her to go to sleep after he left the room with the other chick, like literally, there's so many points that
That's
it's so
that was
dumb.
the most
Like
egregious one.
the moment you apply even the most thinnest layer of logic to any of this movie, it fucking is aggravating. And like the only other moment in the movie that I thought was really cool was when she does kill him. Cuz I was like, "Oh fuck," cuz there's
Yeah,
this
that was a good
electric
kill.
cork there's this electric cork remover that they're using throughout the movie where it like drills into the cork and then and pulls out, and she fucking like sticks him in his temple with it, and it
Mhm.
drills into his head and then pulls out pieces of his brain, and then he just dies, and that's
Yeah, that
fucking
was cool.
cool.
That was cool.
This there was some good points, but a lot of again, this would have been a good movie if fucking the fucking marketing wasn't awful. The actual twist of the
The
movie
second
had if we had
trailer just destroyed the movie.
it did because it revealed like four different twists that it just doesn't work, and I hated that. Like
Yeah,
this movie would have been infinitely better if I would have gone in blind.
it's true.
And
If
I
anyone
get,
would have gone in blind.
and I mean, you can come at us in the comments to be like, well, you could have just not watched the second trailer. We're the
Oh, so good.
movie guys. We're gonna see those trailers.
It was in front
Like,
of literally everything for the past 2 months.
yeah, like the only other time we've done this is when Kellen didn't want to know anything about Night Swim.
I like swimming pools, sue me. So I
Yeah,
wanted to like, you know what? I pick a random movie and I'll do that like every once in a while. I'll pick a random movie. I'm like, all right, I'm interested off the bat just from the teaser. I don't want to see any other trailers from this, and it'll just go
yeah,
from there. We should have done that with this. It's impossible to tell. It's
yeah.
literally impossible
It's
to tell
impossible to
what you're
tell if
supposed
they
to do
play.
that or not.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Is like, it's like I don't see what's here for the people that the marketing reached. I see what's here for the people that didn't know anything about this and just went to go see this movie on a whim, or their
Yeah.
friends who know nothing about this and they brought them to come and take them to the movies and be like, "Hey, we got to go see this." I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever. Movie,
Here's the
bet,
thing.
whatever."
Here's the thing you gotta take into factor though, right? If the trailer is actively damaging the movie, like, oh, you shouldn't see the trailer, it spoils so much. That's on them, not me for seeing the
Yeah,
trailer.
exactly.
That's on you for putting all that shit in your trailer for your movie. You can't blame
Exactly.
me for watching the thing that you used to advertise the movie. A lot of
Yeah.
people wouldn't even know about the movie if it wasn't for the second trailer. It like that's what other trailers are for, is to reach further. The teaser trailer like is only gonna hit like half as many people, right? And then you get the other trailer out, and then that's what marketing is for. So people see that you want people to see the trailer, but the trailer hurts the movie.
Honestly, there have
That's
been
on
some
you.
L follow-up trailers recently cuz like honestly, Flight Risk could have just kept its first trailer and just left it there. It
Yeah,
didn't need the second one that
yeah.
came out. Granted, the second one didn't damage the movie. It's just the first trailer was just perfect. Like
It's just better.
it got it done in one. It was great. You didn't need a second one. You didn't need anything more revealed. I don't like that second trailer means more things about the movie revealed. There are some movies that need that. Granted, there are some. Like there are some
Mhm.
movies where we see the first trailer and we're like, there's nothing there. I don't know what the plot of this is. I don't understand what's going on. Like the first trailer for Sinners. Like we didn't know what the heck it
Oh
was.
yeah,
Like it was just kind of
we needed that.
like having the second one and finding out it's like vampires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
I'm
for
more
Sinners.
interested in the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
for
cause the
Sinners,
Sinners,
we
like,
was like, okay, we need a second trailer, because right now I don't know if like there's actually something here, or if do they just hate white people. Like I don't
yeah,
know. I
exactly.
don't know what's going on here. yet. So
But now
let's wait and
now
see.
that we know it's vampires, we're like, oh, cool. Well, yeah, we'll go see that. That works. This doesn't. We should find out. We need to find out if Taylor knows anything about this movie. Tell her not to do anything because I want to see a reaction from someone that doesn't know it. I want to know if
Interesting.
I want to know. I want you to find out if she knows anything about it. Because if she doesn't
Yeah,
know anything about it, tell her to not find out anything about it, and we'll have her watch it
before
to
she
get that
watches it. Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah, get somebody else in there who
I would like
hasn't
to
seen
see.
it and
I
you
would
can
like
watch.
to see that other perspective because I wish to
Sure.
God we could have that. I wish to God we could because it feels like that's the way this movie's supposed to be watched. I
Yeah, I
hate
felt
that I have
robbed.
to give. I do too. Like it's not that I think this is a bad movie. Like we bitched about Jack Quaid, but that's the problem is that we had this robbed from us. So we could only focus on the movie from the lens of what the trailer set us up for.
Yeah.
And
So I
it's
think
really annoying.
we complained about this enough. It's time to move into the rankings here.
Yeah. Uh
So despite our whole review of this being nothing but negatives, it actually wasn't a bad movie. We were just incredibly robbed uh from any real surprise or shock or twist in it because we had seen the second trailer, and the second trailer had completely ruined the big surprise, the big reveal. And I think their marketing team just really, really, really dropped the ball on the second trailer and just like a lot of the other stuff around this movie. um if I had gone in blind, yes, this would have been a much better movie, way higher up on the rankings. But where we're at, I'm gonna have to give this a 6 out of 10. It's probably a higher 6 out of 10. It's better than like most kind of mid movies. They did a lot of like the kills were done really well. I think like on paper all the twists are very good, but like going in already knowing it, they're not.
yeah.
And that's where a lot of the heavy lifting of the movie was coming from, because outside of like the reveal she's a robot, the reveal of this, the reveal of that, the twist for this, and then this happens, that's where most of the movie's impact comes from. So if you don't have that, you don't have that.
So me, I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10. Like it normally we reserve that for like a perfect middle of the road nothing burger of a movie. Granted, this is like right below like that 5 and 6 barrier. I couldn't
Hmm.
give it the 6 because the trailer totally robbed me of everything. Like I wish to God that I could watch this movie the way the curse of knowledge is real on this, guys. It really, really
It
is.
so is. It so
Like
is.
it's so bad. And like I I would if I had gone in this movie blind, it would probably be a 7 or an 8. I'm not even kidding. Maybe even a
Same
9.
here.
I don't know.
I would have gave it a
Like
high 7 or maybe an
yeah.
8.
Like I don't know. It would probably definitely be like a 7 or an 8 for me because there was so much about this movie I liked, but like there it was this I had this completely empty hollow feeling watching this movie. I really did. Cuz it felt
It's true.
I'm sitting here watching a movie feeling like I should be feeling things and knowing I should be feeling things that I can't feel because I know what's happening already. And that really really hurt this movie. I am deeply disappointed in the marketing team for this.
That's true. Because it's not a bad movie on its face, but
It's
like
not.
they just really dropped the ball in that second trailer. But
Yes.
anyways, moving into our last movie for the Valentine's Day episode here, we have Love Hurts, the newest action movie from our boys over at 87 North. Isaac, take it away.
Marvin is a Milwaukee realtor who receives a crimson envelope from Rose, a former partner in crime who he left for dead. He now finds himself thrust back into a world of ruthless hitmen and double crosses that turn his open houses into deadly war zones. Hunted by his brother, a volatile crime lord, Marvin must confront the choices that haunt him and the history he never truly buried. Is that a
Now,
Bible text of fucking overview? My God.
So, if I had a nickel, if I had a nickel for every movie we covered on the podcast today that took place on Valentine's Day where someone got killed by a straw, I would have 2 nickels. Now say it with me. Which isn't a
Isn't
lot, but
but
it's
it's
weird that
weird
it
it
happened
happened
twice.
twice. Oh my god.
I swear to God, like what is there's like you like the when you see as much movies as we do, you you notice it. Like the duality of like movies. Like they'll
Yeah.
make movies twice. They will make movies
Yeah.
twice, you know? Like
They will.
they had The First Omen and Immaculate come out at the same time, right? And then they had like
Yeah.
uh they what was it? Abigail, and then they had I just saw it on Hulu. What was it called? The Inheritance. Literally the
Yeah.
same movies. Like like you'll see that, and they'll come down to like really little things. You know, like if
Yeah.
I like last year, if I had a nickel for every movie that had the name Empire in its name and featured a beach covered in ice, like a tropical
Yeah.
beach covered in ice, again, 2 nickels.
Real.
Like it's so crazy, like the double up that they'll do here. Um, but the movie itself, okay. Love 87 North movies. They're always great for one reason or another. This one
It's
I
always the
felt
action. The action is
it's
always solid in
it
this.
is the action. It is the action. Nothing will ever beat Bullet Train. Fall Guy was really good. You know, you got Nobody. You got like all these stuff like this. I think Love Hurts is probably one of the weaker entries into their lineup of movies, but it was super fun nonetheless.
It was.
Uh,
All the action scenes were a lot of fun. I actually liked a majority of the characters.
oh yeah, all the
Uh
characters were super cool. Most of them.
like I was getting kind of like when we first started getting introduced to characters, I was getting a little bit of a Bullet Train vibe in the sense of
There's
like
just
we're
like a
aiming
lot of
it
people here, and like
where there's a lot of people and you're following them and they all have their own little quirks and stuff. Like I kind of like
yeah.
that. I like that character. The Raven.
But
Shout
how
out the
we're
Raven.
yeah. Let's talk about the real star, the real main character of this movie, the Raven.
Yeah. Dude goes hard. Like
That guy
actually,
fucks.
like his well, almost literally, honestly.
Yeah. So
he
like
did.
his
He did.
main
He
thing is
did
that
nab a baddie by the end of the movie.
he did pick up a baddie in the middle of the movie. So he's like a poet, right? And he's like writing things down in his book, like Edgar Allan Poe if he was an assassin, right?
Yeah.
So he throws like quills, like quill pens with feathers on them, like, and he just like throws
Yeah.
them like little darts. And he's got like a whole bunch of knives in his jacket. But the
They're
coolest
all
thing is that
Damascus
he's
as well,
got
by the way.
yeah,
I
I don't know
love
what that
them.
means, but yeah. But the coolest thing that he has is he's got like little like I don't know what it's called, but he's got a place for something to lock in on his coat wrist or like on his wrist, right? And he brings his foot up. I can't show you on camera, but he brings his foot up and there's a blade in the like rubber sole of his shoes, of his boots, and it slides into place on his arm and he pulls out like a full shoe sized blade on both arms and he just fights with that like he's got like axes on his arms and it's so cool. It is literally
It's
the
so cool.
one of the raddest things. Oh, 87 North is so good at just pulling out like random characters with like super crazy cool weapons, skills, abilities, and just
And
everything like that.
personalities.
And personalities, he's
Like
such a cool character.
I like that he had this like moment where cuz like by the way, you think he's dead for most of this movie. Like you think Marvin killed him. And then like he just stands up after this like after Marvin's like possibly suicidal, maybe just depressed assistant or whatever like starts reading finds him and like reads his poems and
And
like he
she's
just
like, I
stands
get
up and
him.
he's like
I
yeah
understand
she
you.
likes he stands up and he's like no one's ever understood my words before. And she's like, no
And
one's
she's like,
words have ever understood me.
"Sister
And it's like, so, by the way, fun fact about
no."
that woman in particular, it was bugging the fuck out of me because she looked so familiar. You want to know where I know her from?
No.
In Space with Markiplier.
I said no.
Well, I don't care. You're gonna find out. Yeah, she was
What the fuck?
In Space with Markiplier.
Wow.
Like I don't know why that was buried in my subconscious. Maybe because I ran through In Space with Markiplier so many times. But like it just stuck in my head that I'm like, where the fuck? But that was cool. But anyway, let's talk about like the real like main character of this movie. I
We
cannot
were.
pronounce this guy. Real. Uh K Hu Kwan? Hoi Kwan? Something like that.
It's
Is that
short
how you pronounce
round.
it? It's Short Round
I
from
don't know. I'm
Indiana
not
Jones.
Asian. Yeah,
Like,
last thing we saw him in
you know
was
what?
Everything Everywhere All at Once All the Time Forever.
He's also the dude from Goonies. He's like whatever his
Yeah, he's
name is in
Data.
Goonies. Data, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, booby twats.
he's a really cool character. I like him because like he's an ex-mafia like enforcer that was let free by his brother, and he completely turned his life around and became a mild-mannered realtor. And
Became a Clark Kent.
I love this dynamic he has as like this guy who's just wants to be left alone, and he just wants to like he's like I like my life. I don't want to do this
Yeah, he just
anymore.
wants to
And then they
enjoy
force
like
him to
his civilian life again.
Yeah, and then they force him to act, and like you see the moment it just like he's like I can't like not do it anymore. Like I have to fight. And he just snaps into action and just starts fucking them up. Like it's
Mhm.
so cool. There's one shot in this movie that has nothing to do with an action scene. Well, it does sort of, but I love it. And that's when they corner him in the house,
Mhm.
and I can't remember what he does to distract the guy, but the guy pulls a gun on him, and I guess he like knocks his hand away, and he just shoots the crock pot that he had making food, and it just fucking explodes. Like that was cool.
Not the
I
slow
liked that a lot.
cooker.
Also,
Not
rip
the
that
slow
slow
cooker.
cooker.
He didn't do nothing. So
Uh,
I hated his mustache. That was probably a good choice to get rid of the mustache after he,
real.
became a realtor. Mustache was a bad idea. Um, I liked that his brother's entire personality was that he drinks the boba tea.
Yeah, that was really
That was the
funny.
whole thing about his brother. Like literally every scene, he's got he's just drinking a boba tea.
Bro's got a
And I'm
boba
just like,
addiction.
he does, and then he killed the other guy from the Goonies with a straw.
John Aston.
Yeah, killed him with a straw. Two Goonies guys in there. Do you think? Do you think he was in this just because he was friends with Short Round?
Maybe that could have been
His
it.
character did kind of fuck all.
Yeah, he was just there to be like the guy's
It was a
mentor, like
shout
the
out.
one who helped
Just
him
be like,
like in
"Hey,
his
my
thing.
buddy."
Um,
Remember?
I I also wanted to point out like this the girl Rose, uh unlike Hard Eyes, where the couple felt very natural, I wasn't buying it. Like she's like no less like obviously like 20, 30 years younger than this man.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say there's gotta be at the very minimum a 20-year age gap, and
and
it's
they
like,
act like they've known each other for like their whole lives or something
yeah,
like that. And
yeah.
like that doesn't connect there. And
I didn't care
uh
for her character at all.
yeah, you all know who she is? She's Calypso
Nope.
from Craven.
Ah, she had she
Like
had a better connection
she's
with Craven,
she's
to be
done
honest.
fuck all, by the way. Like this is only the 22nd film she's ever been in. Sorry,
Yeah.
correction. 22nd thing she's ever been in. Because apparently she was
You
a voice
counted
actor
them?
on Bubble Guppy. No, because it tells you when you go to IMDb. It says
Okay.
previous 22. But
Okay.
like she hasn't been in a lot. She's been in a lot recently, but not. She's relatively new, so it's an interesting pick for her to be in this.
Yeah.
I also don't like her character.
No, her
Like
character's terrible.
her whole character is just be wild. And I get that like they she keeps saying like, "Oh, I'm trying to help him." Like, can't she see neither of us are truly free because we can't be who we are? And it's like, bro doesn't want to be that anymore. Like I get the
Yeah.
point that the movie is
She
trying to get to where it's like a reconciliation between who he used to be and who he is now, like finding that middle ground kind of thing. Like you need a bit of yin
yeah.
and yang kind of thing. Like I understand what they're
Oh,
going for there.
oh, yin and yang, Isaac.
Yes, cuz he's Asian. Uh
I thought so.
but
Racist.
Taylor would approve.
Okay.
Uh
Well, okay,
but
so here's the biggest like thing about her character, right? Is because they don't give you any focus on her when you're supposed to. Right? Cuz like the
yeah.
whole time she's got like she's wrapped up in like this thing and she's in trouble but she's got a plan and like she's working through it and she'll like have like one or two lines where she mentions something like, oh, I cut off that guy's finger, I needed it for fingerprint scan, and then like walked and then like they carried on. And like I kind of thought for a second, like, okay, what did you need a fingerprint scan for? And then they never came back to that. And then at the end of the movie, she's just like, oh yeah, I've been planning everything the whole time. Everything's set in stone. Yeah, I got it. I used the fingerprint scan to unlock into this, and then I reported your ass to the people that you owe money to, and now they're here. I'm like, oh, I was like, you're just hit with a train at the end of just like, yo, yeah, yeah, I planned everything from the start, and here it
Yeah,
is.
it didn't
And I was
feel
like,
like a
but you
reveal. It
didn't
felt like just an
focus.
exposition dump.
Yeah, exact. Thank you, thank you. You put it in perfect words. It wasn't like a reveal, like, oh, and then that connects to this and this. She did mention that before,
Yeah.
and then oh, she's so smart. It's just like no, it's like it was literally just she was just word vomiting like everything, so they could rush to the end really fast.
Yeah. Like it was like the pacing in this movie is the issue. Don't get me wrong, the action is still amazing. I love all the
Oh
action that happens in this movie. It's so
yeah,
good every single time. Like I could watch this movie again. Don't get me wrong, I probably will watch this movie again at some point. But like it's
yeah.
not one to write home about.
Yeah, not
Like
really. It's
like
like
like it was
it's a vehicle to show you cool action.
It's you know what? This is in a perfect slot that I put a lot of movies last year. And I honestly don't think we have a whole lot more to say about this movie, do you?
Not really.
We can move on into the rankings here cuz I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. This is where it's fall. I'm already starting the category again cuz we had like 6 different movies that I threw in this slot. And like I'm like I know exactly where I'm going to put this. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, but god was it a lot of fun to watch. It like I gave it to The Killer's Game, Beekeeper, like all those types of movies.
Yeah.
Like it's just a
So
fun movie.
it's something that you're gonna find in the $5 bin at Walmart, but you're gonna be like, oh, it's that movie. I kind of like that, and you'll pick it up just because it's $5.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're not gonna pay the actual like full price for it. But if it ends up in like a
Or if
cheaper
I
bin,
see
you'll
it
just be like,
show
oh
up on
yeah, I like that.
streaming, I'm
I'll
gonna be
grab
like,
it.
oh fuck yeah, let's watch that again. That was fun.
Yeah. So I agree. 6 out of 10. It's the action's really good. I think the short round. I think he's a really good martial artist.
He
I mean,
is.
as
The
much
whole
as I
fight
can
scene with his
tell,
brother was cool.
we'd we'd have to see what my dad says about it. Yeah, the final boss fight with his brother was really
I
good.
liked there was one
Is
part
this?
in that fight that I really liked because like he caught his hand by his chest and he did like the 1 inch
Mhm.
punch, like real quick.
Yeah,
Like that was cool.
yeah. There was a lot of cool stuff there. But yeah, again, like I left the theater with the exact same thing. It's nothing to write home about. It is cool action. 87 North never fails on its action. The action's always really good, and they know what they're doing over
Yeah,
there. Um, but I think a lot of the story could have been written deeper. I think some of the characters, other than the Raven, clearly, could have been written better, more
yeah,
fleshed out. I think this is another movie that would have benefited from another like 20 minutes.
true. Like if they would have
Uh,
fleshed out a few things and let you sit with some more stuff and like actually developed like a relationship between characters, because the whole point is that he just states at one point that he loves her and that's why he let her go. And like you don't get a moment to establish the relationship. You're just told the
yeah, it's just
relationship
kind
is
of like
there.
yeah, yeah, you're just kind of
Like and
like
it
wheeled into it. I
yeah,
don't know.
it's kind of whatever, but it's still a lot of fun. Like all the action and all like the comedy in this movie that pops up really just kind of accents that, and it's really nice.
Nice. All right. Well, that should wrap up our special Valentine's Day episode of the podcast here. Isaac, do we have a list pulled up for what we can expect next time?
Next time, we don't really have a solid list in yet because obviously it's about 2 weeks out. But on the chopping on the block is we have Captain America: Brave New World. Yeah, that's gonna be something. Paddington in Peru. I've actually it seems like it might be kind of cute and fun. We also have a Dogman, which looks kind of interesting. Maybe it's a kind of it's a Captain America, Captain Underpants thing. We have the monkey, which we are actually definitely going to be on the
Oh
list.
yeah. I read
So
the
we're gonna.
book for this shit. It better be good.
I'm reading it too. I finally started. I'm only like 2 pages in, but I started.
Okay.
And then also the Unbreakable Boy, the new Zachary Levi movie about it's about a boy with autism. You know, one of those. Uh,
Ezra.
but yeah, they seems like we might have a fun lineup. It is a nice. I think we this was one of my favorite podcasts that we have ever actually done. This is a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
gonna be
fun
fun.
to like set up
It's definitely
set
gonna
up
s- it's definitely gonna stand out in our
like
in our thumbnail list.
I think it will. Like I loved setting all this up. Uh yeah, happy Valentine's Day
Oh,
everyone.
love.
Hopefully we have this out. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day everyone. Hopefully we have this out by then. Love you, baby.
Oh, we
I have to
absolutely
say that.
will. Be sure
I
to.
have to, okay? I have to tell her I love her. She'll
Okay.
watch, I know.
Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe because it keeps us going back to the theaters and bringing these videos back here for you. Be sure to check out our Letterboxd accounts on screen now. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
Roll credits.